Hi, this is Rich Lavens of Watlow, and today we're going to be working with a Eurotherm 6000 series, 6100 series data recorder, and we're going to be setting up groups and batch functions. Um, what you see here is a software on my PC called Bridge Full, and it really just mirrors the recorder faceplate. So it's exactly like pushing the buttons on the recorder. Um, there are two versions of Bridge, though. There's a Bridge Lite, which basically gives you the operator view, so we can go in and we can change group numbers and that. So what we cannot do, though, is get into configuration. So Bridge Full would need to be purchased, and the full version allows you to get in to configure the recorder. Um, if you're going to do it through the faceplate of the recorder, you don't need Bridge Full. But again, just for tutorial sake, it's easier for me to kind of use Bridge Full and replicate the screen on my PC. So what we're going to do here to set up the groups and batches is we're going to come up here to the upper left and logged out. We want to log in as engineer. And your password is going to be different than mine, but I'll go ahead and log in. And you can see up here, I am now logged in as engineer. On the lower right, you see 5 little cubes. And we're going to go to the operator. And I'm going to have 6 tabs up here. Now, the first thing is the batch function. That is an option. So here I have a tab, so mine is enabled. If you don't see that batch option in your config list, you can drop down to options, and it will tell you what features are enabled or disabled on that recorder. So again, batch, if you go in there and that's disabled, we can do a field upgrade for you. There's a charge for that, so you can get with your regional manager or account manager, and we can walk you through how to get that upgraded. That is a different video there. So in my case, we are going to go to our groups. So here's group number 1, which is labeled group number 1. Normally, you'd want to change that descriptor to something a little bit more meaningful. I'm going to put in oven 1. Here is the update speed of the recorder screen. So we're going to update that every 30 seconds, which equates to 1.5 inches per hour. If you're a metric guy, we can also do millimeters per hour. Totally your call. And then we can set up the grid divisions. Down here is the recording enable. So you'll notice here, the recording speed and the recording interval are kind of grayed out. Well, why is that? Because within this group called oven number 1, I haven't told it what channels to record. So here in group number 1, I want to record input 1 and input 2. Now, if I slide back up, you can see that the recording is enabled. So based on these 2 data points, if I log them at every 20 seconds, I have 548 plus days of memory. So we have set that up now. Now I've went ahead and I've also set up group number 2, which I call oven 2, and group number 3. You can have different settings within here. And again, just in essence of time, I want to show you 3 different groups. So there they are. So once I've done that, here, go back to my group 1. Down here, I've made a few settings. I've enabled a couple channels. I'm going to hit apply. And then up here in the upper right, you'll see a progress bar. So I'll just take a couple seconds. Once the progress bar has disappeared, you'll see that the items I hadn't read are now black, so the changes have been accepted. So that's how you set up your groups. I'm going to come in here and set up my batch functions now. So again, here we can hide. So normally by default, you're going to come up here and you're going to pick either instrument or group. Normally you're going to want to save the batch by a group. If you want to save everything to just the instrument, that's fine. But in my case, I want to save a group. So the group is oven number 1. I want to show the batch entry list, and I want to enable that. Now, if you wanted, you could go and do your batch entry here, but normally you're going to do that from the operator view. So we're going to skip that. Down here, I can do a continuous batch or a start stop. In my case, I want to do a start stop, and I can select how many fields are in that batch. So in my case, let's do 4. So field 1, let's put in a job number. We're going to put in a part number. Let's put in a customer name. And lastly, I want to know who's running this batch. So operator. So once I start a batch, these are the 4 pieces of information I want my operator to enter. If I put on start log 0, he could start a batch without filling these in. So let's make it so that he has to fill in all 4 batches on a start. It's going to require all 4 batches on a stop. And then on new clear. So every time I start a new batch, I want to clear out these 4 fields and force the operator to go back in and fill them in again. And then lastly, name files by batch, it's going to revert to the first field as your batch number. Now, on mine, I have 3 groups set up. I've already went in and set up oven 2 batch, oven 2 group and oven 3 group, the same as oven number 1. So again, just in the essence of time. So here we are. Let's apply this. We see our progress bar up here, and we're done. And then the last thing is under security, under access, here's the engineer mode. You can see the engineer has kind of access to everything. In a logged out situation, though, I can say, yeah, I want the operator to have archive control, but I also want them to have control of the batch. So we're going to click that, and we're going to apply. And again, progress bar in the upper right. So we're ready to go here. Let's come back here to engineer. We're going to log out. And then down here in the lower right, we're going to go home. So this is what the operator is going to see. So we've set up 3 different groups. Here's group number 1 up here. The left to right cycles to the next group. Oven number 2, oven number 3. And on this particular recorder, I have 6 that I can set up. We do have an option to go up to 12 groups. But again, in my case, I just set up 3. So here's oven number 1. This is the horizontal trend chart. By hitting the up or down buttons, I can change the view. It's the same information displayed a different way. So there is a bar graph with data. There's a horizontal bar graph with the data. Numeric only, round chart, and then a vertical bar graph. So you can see up here, I had started a batch once before. So there's the time and date. So let's start a new batch. We're going to do it from this vertical bar graph, or vertical trend chart, I mean. Down here, you see 3 little lines. I call it a hamburger patty. So we're going to click on the hamburger patty, and there is a batch field. So we're going to click the batch. So oven number 1 has no batch in progress. So let's do a new batch. So our job number is 1. Our part number is 2. Our customer is Bill. And say the operator forgot to put his name in, but he hit start. Because we want to make sure he filled in all 4 fields, it's not going to let him start a batch. So now I'll put my name in. And we're going to hit start. So that disappears. And over time, depending on that interval of the screen, you'll see that that next batch roll down. So we're going to go to group number 2, which is oven 2. We're going to try to start a batch. So here's a batch. Now this one actually says there's a batch in progress. So I'm going to stop it. It disappears. We're going to come back up and hit that again. No batch in progress. So again, let's start another batch. So now it's keeping track of a second batch independent of the first group. So let's do job number 2, part number 2. Customer is Sam. And we'll just say that we have Lisa running this one. So I'm going to start this. And again, eventually it will roll down and you'll see that start. So let's move on to job number 3 or group number 3. Batch. So again, I've got one here. I want to create a new batch. So it's going to force me or prompt me to enter. So number 3. Customer is, we'll just go with Joe on this one. And our operator is Barney. So I can start that. So when I started that, it's going to close the batch that was running and start the next batch. Now down here, you see there's an arrow here now. So here is the 2 batches. So at 9:22 at 3:30, I ran this batch, but here's 9:47. So we started a new batch here. So there's information down here as well. Let's run back to group number 1 and see what's going on there. It came back to the horizontal chart. You can set up the home screen so it comes up to a horizontal or numeric or whatever. On the horizontal chart, though, it does not show you the batch information. So let's go up to the vertical. And again, it hasn't rolled down to my latest job, but there's the information from the previous one. And again, if we want to do something different, there's a batch. So here's the current batch, job number 1, part number 2. So you can see it differs from the one that was run prior. We can close that. Also in here, if we started a batch and we want to add a note, so again, there's a note button. So here's the note, like maybe you broke a thermocouple. So broken TC, fixed by Rich. We're going to hit OK on that note. Now, that note eventually, too, is going to come down. It's going to time and date stamp that note, and you should be able to see that in the batch recording. So that is how that's done. I hope you find this video helpful, but please reach out to us and let us know. Thank you so much. Bye.